Hello, everyone. It's Victoria here. I have just tried to record a video and had no idea that it was not recording. So I am recording it now. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. And I wanted to have another one of our health talks today. So today is Thursday. I hope that you have had a lovely day with your family and just enjoying the day as it's a day off for many of us. So, I wanted to talk about what we chatted about before. I just want to make sure, yes, we are recording. So, last time we had one of our health chats, it was named Small Shifts. So, if you look in the Mom Care Coach Facebook group, you will find it there, or you can look at it on YouTube. On my YouTube channel, you will find it there. So, today I wanted to do a little bit of a review and then kind of add on to it. So, last time we ended with learning about permissions and graces. Okay, giving yourself permission and giving yourself grace to do certain things. And then we talked about how we have our four intentional needs, which actually are our anchors, and we have practices that support that anchor that will lead us to our goal. Okay, and so like our anchors are also known as our four intentional needs, are movement, mindset, sleep, and nutrition. Our goals are calm mind, joyful movement, restorative rest, and a nourished body. Okay, so that is the goal. Okay, so if we're wanting to say, hey, I would like to have an appropriate mindset, okay, that would be the anchor, an appropriate mindset. So, how can we support an appropriate mindset? Well, we want to be aware of our self talk. We want to be aware of what we're listening to, the people that we're listening to, the things that we're listening to, the books that we are reading. All of that is going to support our mindset. And when we are able to do that long enough, having a healthy mindset, then it's going to naturally lead us to having a calm mind. Okay. So for instance, if you are a person and your mind is always spinning and running and you have 100 different things in your head and you would like to be more calm, maybe how you're interacting with your children or your husband, how you're interacting at work, and you just want to have a calm mind, then you need to have a positive mindset, a healthy positive mindset, meaning you're not positive about everything when it's not appropriate to be so. There is a time and space to have appropriate feelings when it comes to even anger or how you are showing up or being honest with yourself. But you want to have a healthy mindset, which is naturally going to lead you to the calm mind. So, having the appropriate practices to support the anchor of mindset is going to lead you to a calm mind, which is your goal. How long does it take? How long does it take? Well, it depends on you, and that's okay. Because if you start out having that a focus on a healthy mindset and you are doing the practices, you are naturally going to go and have a calm mind. Kind of like if I got on the highway and my goal was to end up in California, but I started out in Missouri, then if I stay on the highway that leads me to California, I will naturally end up in California. Now, if I decide to have a different route that the GPS is not leading me, but I heard maybe that this would be a quicker way, then I can't guarantee that I'm going to end up in California unless I take the steps. And in this case, the highways to get me there, whether that is if I am driving or if I am taking a train or a bus, or if I'm taking a plane, as long as it's going in the direction to end me up in or end up in California, then that is what will happen. Okay, so the same thing with our goals. If we are wanting to reach a goal, then we need to be consistent and we need to honor the practices that are supporting our anchor, and it will naturally lead us to the goal that we have in mind. So the same thing with nutrition. So nutrition is the anchor and the intentional need that we must have in place. So I call them four intentional needs because we need to be intentional about making it happen. As a mother of an autistic child, my time often is surrounded by his needs and my other child's needs, like any parent would, but sometimes we have to do things in a different way because of the needs of our children. And that's perfectly wonderful. That's not a problem. But I do think it's important for us to understand that that is different than maybe a neurotypical family. And that's okay. But we have to understand and know how to make those pivots and do things in a different way and be successful at that. So, if I am practicing my own self care and I am wanting to really focus on my own nutrition so that I will eventually have a nourished body, well, then what I need to do is maybe meal prep. That would be one of my practices that would support the anchor. Maybe I also need to have like healthy snacks in the home. Maybe I need to think ahead of what I'm wanting to prepare and how those meals will happen as far as adding that to what I am creating and making for the rest of my family. So I personally do not eat too many carbs. I don't, I have chosen, and it works really well for my body, to be predominantly grain free, but that isn't the nature of my children. They are able to have some grains, not all of them. They are gluten free and dairy free. And so I just want to think about what I'm making. I want to be mindful and intentional about it and how I can fit that in with the rest of the meal. So, for instance, if I'm making maybe, let's see, for them, we like chili, and maybe I want to use a variety of beans in it. I am not a meat eater. Meat has not always settled really well on in my body, but my children do eat a little bit of meat from time to time. We are a plant-based family, so maybe I'll make some vegan chili. I'll have some brown rice for them as well. And then we'll have some kind of veggie side dish. But maybe for me, the main thing I'm going to eat is the chili. And maybe I'll also I make the flatbread that I've made a few reels on that before on Instagram and YouTube. I will make like the flaxseed flatbread. And so maybe I'll have some of that with a little bit of chili and maybe one of my shakes or a green smoothie as well, half of that or something. So that is an option. We just want to be mindfully thinking about how we can do it and not leave it kind of at that moment to try to figure out, because a lot of times when we do that, it makes it more difficult for us and unnecessarily. And so when we think about it ahead of time, then it's one less thing that we have to think about in that day or at that moment, you know? So that's one option. And so over time, when we are making sure that we are staying hydrated and we are eating properly, then we're going to have a nourished body. And each person is different. Some people are great with paleo or more carnivorous or more, um, let's see, having more raw or more whole foods and or whole foods diet. So there's so many different diets. I think what is best is just you knowing your body and what works well with you, and then you eating that. And then also thinking how you can make that and not worry about, okay, can I make everything for everybody else too? Because I know for myself in the past, I was so worried about creating meals and everything for everybody else, and then I would forget to eat, or I'd wind up not eating at all, which is kind of the same thing, isn't it? I would either forget to eat or try to snack on something, and then I didn't really feel nourished about it. And then later on, I was hungry again because I didn't really eat a substantial meal. So I think that if we're just thinking about how we can nourish ourselves and thinking about that ahead of time, that's why I really love meal prepping and meal planning, which are two different things, then it's going to be helpful for the entire family because you're not just thinking about yourself, you're thinking about everybody else and how to combine the whole idea. And on that note, I know of something that I do. It's called having flexitarian meals. So one option would be maybe everyone's having beans and rice and tortillas and avocado and some grass-fed meat and maybe a little bit of chicken. And there's different options for everybody. Plus, you have your veggies that's going to go on the tortillas. That you can create this flexitarian meal so that people can choose what they want. And so it gives you more options because you're not feeling like a short order cook and you're creating all of these meals and then trying to figure out, okay, now what I'm going to eat, right? So it makes it really helpful in that way also. So getting back to what we were talking about, we have mindset, we have that will lead us to having a calm mind. That's my cat in the background. I said that in the last video, but I don't know if I said it yet on this one. And then we also have nutrition that is leading us to a nourished body. So the next one we can talk about is having joyful movement in our life. So joyful movement is the goal. So in order to have joyful movement in our life, then we need to have movement as an anchor. So the practices around movement may be like basketball or a hula hooping or like what other things? There's a variety of different things that you can think about that could be fun. Maybe like Pilates or biking or all different kinds of things that you can think about that may be really exciting for you. So, what's really great about that is you can think about what you enjoy doing, and over time, you become a person that has joyful movement in your life because it's probably one of the easiest things to see the goal happen the quickest because you are in control of that. You choose what you love to do and you just do it consistently. So the next thing I want to talk about would be sleep. Sleep is what so many of us autism mamas are always looking forward to, is trying to figure that out, especially if you have a kiddo that really struggles with sleep, and that can be really, really challenging. So in order to have really great sleep, and let's say your goal is to have restorative rest. So in order to have this really great sleep, there are some practices that we can have around there. Decreasing the blue light 1 to 2 hours before we go to bed, having a nice hot bath, having candles if you like, dimming the lights throughout the household so that it can kind of help your body to start to calm down and get in the mood for sleep. And then also not having so much light on the eyes that can keep us awake, decreasing, or actually within the first, or rather the hour or two before going to bed, you're wanting to turn off all screens. And that could be your laptop, your phone, your television. You're wanting to turn off of that iPad, all of that stuff, so that you are able to really be able to focus on getting good rest. Sometimes some supplements can be really helpful for that. So many different things that we can do that it's really, really helpful when it comes to making sure that we are having really great sleep. And you can track it. You can track it with the Oura Ring. You can track it with, I think a Whoop strap will also track it as well. You can track it with a variety of different things that is really helpful. And then just good old fashioned pencil and paper, noticing the time you went to bed, and then if you went to bed quickly or if it took a long time, and then the time that you got up, and if you actually feel rested the next day, all of that's really important because we really have to pay attention to that. And then the next thing that we're wanting to really pay attention to, so we have sleep, we have a calm mind, we have a movement, we have our mindset. So mindset matches with the calm mind, and then joyful movement matches with movement. And then let's see, nutrition matches with our nourished body. And then restorative rest matches with the sleep. So I think we did cover all of them. So it's so important to have that understanding. So we kind of talked about that last week. And then now I just want to talk about, we ended with making sure that we are taking little bite sizes, pieces when it comes to this overarching goal of being healthy and meeting those goals and making sure that you're focusing on your anchors and having your practices around it. And the first thing we talked about last time was calm mind and then bringing in proper hydration. Now, we all know that we need to be drinking half our body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you need to be drinking 100 ounces of water a day. And so we kind of end it there. And so I want to give you some options when it comes to water. We also talked about last time graces in permission. So if you don't know anything about that, please do watch part 1 and 2 of small shifts because that's what this is. These are small shifts. So I wanted to give you a few options when it comes to hydration that would be under our calm mind intention, our anchor there. So that's going to be for the nutrition. We're wanting to nourish our body. So with water, you can have mason jars and you can fill them up and you can set them out overnight so that first thing in the morning you see a jar, you're able to get some water first thing. Another option is you can have, if you have a Yeti or a Stanley, fill that up before you go to bed. Have it next to your bed. You can have it on the countertop or kitchen table. That may be really helpful. Let's see, another option would be if you don't like the taste of water, you can always try teas. Now, on my online health shop, we have a few different teas. We have a sleepy time tea, which is so amazing. It tastes really good. And then also, I love it because it really works and you are feeling, helps me to feel really refreshed the next day refreshed the next day. Another tea that we have is our detox tea. Our detox tea, again, is yummy. You can have that throughout the day, and it's really awesome. So we have those for our teas. And then our next items that we have that are drink related on my online health shop is a nice healthy energy drink, which we call Fizz. And it is really lovely because a lot of the commercial options when it comes to energy, they're not healthy. They may make you have some jittery energy, but they're not healthy. But what I love about the Energy Fizz is that it is methylated, activated vitamin B vitamins. And it has some green tea in it as well. And then it also has some different herbs. And it is a calm energy. It never made me feel jittery. I absolutely love it. And then it comes in a variety of flavors. Now, we also have another line called this True Sport line. And it is if you like to work out. So before, during, or after. And the flavor is really yummy. Even if you don't like to work out, it may put you in the mood because you can do habit stacking. So I really love that. And then another option that we have are our specialized powders for drinks. And then we have a mushroom powder, which is really awesome. And that has been shown to help with brain health and memory and stress management. So that is a really awesome option. And then we also have our inner calm, which has ashwagandha in it, and saffron, and L-theanine. And that is helpful for stress management and also just calming the mind, having an overall feeling of well-being. And so that's another option. All of these you add to water. So the mushroom powder, the energy fizz, the intercom, and the true sport are all powders, and you add to water. And so you could have that in the morning. The teas are, of course, teas. And then you can have that when it is appropriate for you. So I hope that this was really helpful when you think about hydration and how to really support your body. And taking these really small steps into the direction that you want is going to lead you to where you're wanting to go and to meet the goals that you have set up for yourself. So I hope that you have a great day, and I look forward to our next health talk, and have a great weekend. Thanks. Bye.